All right. We are live. Before we talk about all this KD stuff, got some water beside me, and I also got a good old Dr. Pepper. Had a beer last night, so I figured I'd just do Dr. Pepper tonight. How's everybody doing despite the news? Let me know how you guys are doing. We got Andrew in here. We got Bill. We got my guy, Matthew Lissy from the Suns Jam Session podcast. He says, love the new graphic. Well, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I did that like a couple nights ago. I thought it looked pretty cool. So we're gonna have a good show here, you guys. I'm sorry that I'm late to the party on all of this. But I feel like I have some thoughts, and there's actually some other not Kevin Durant stuff that I kind of want to give my thoughts on. So it's going to be a good show. As always, I'm not sure how long we're going to be live, but it's going to be a great show. So do me a favor, you guys, crush that like button, Hulk smash the like button, share the show, keep on watching, and I would really appreciate you guys. So cheers, and let's talk about this. Good old Dr. Pepper. Also, happy birthday to the Arizona Diamondbacks. I got my son's colored Diamondbacks hat on. I absolutely love this hat. All right. So, like I said, I feel like I'm like the last person to talk about this, but just wanted to give my thoughts and my vision on all of this. Do I think that this is the worst possible news ever? Is the Phoenix Suns season over? Absolutely not. People forget that we were injury plagued way before we got KD, way before the KD trade even became a reality again. We were injury plagued, and even though we have 29 losses, we were still winning games. We were still staying afloat. You know what I mean? And then we get Devin Booker back, and I truly believe that if Devin Booker continues to play the same way that he's playing, and if this Phoenix Suns team can win consistently, that we will be okay. I'm not worried about us not making the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, unless things just go from bad to worse, I think missing the playoffs is out of the question. That's not going to happen. This team just needs a lot of consistency on the offensive and defensive end. Because obviously, no more Mikal Bridges, no more Cam Johnson. Obviously, for 2 to 3 weeks, we have no Kevin Durant. So do I believe that the sky is falling? Do I believe that the Phoenix Suns season is over? Absolutely not. Now, we are going to talk about the schedule and stuff later because that's kind of a big part of this show. But let's start with what was reported today. We were waiting all day for this, including myself. That's actually the reason I'm last to talk about this. It's because I do have a second job. I was at that job and I came home, ate dinner and all that, drank some coffee. Now I'm drinking a good old Dr. Pepper. So cheers to you guys. And again, we were waiting for like literally as I was getting off of work. That's kind of when the news came out, at least for my time. So here is the Phoenix Suns tweet of this version. And I say that because there was a few different reports, sort of, but it all pretty much said the same thing. Injury update. Further evaluation has confirmed that Phoenix Suns forward Kevin Durant has sustained a left ankle sprain. He will be reevaluated in 3 weeks. So I really wanted to start with this tweet just because the Suns PR people, the social media people, whatever it is, say 3 weeks. Shams Charania tweeted out that he'll be reevaluated in 2 weeks. I got to burp real quick. Excuse me. With the left ankle sprain and will return based on rehab progress. Swelling has gone down in the ankle, in which Durant injured slipping in pregame warmups Wednesday. Excuse me. The Suns and Durant are hopeful of progress during the reevaluation window that allows for the 13-time All-Star to return to action shortly after 2 weeks. Good news for KD and Phoenix following the scary fall in warmups. So again, the Suns tweet out their thing. They say 3 weeks. Shams Charania tweets this out. 2 weeks. It's all good news, etc. Then my guy Flex from Jersey tweets out, per my discussions, the 2 to 3 week timeline on KD is accurate. Considering how bad it could have been, this is extremely positive news. Exactly. KD will be fine, and the Suns should be able to hold it down until KD is back and fully healthy. Injuries are part of the game. They'll be fine. So that was kind of it. And I'm sure like Woj and all them probably tweeted it, but these were just the 3 tweets that I gathered and all that. And again, we're going to dive into the schedule and everything. We're going to talk about some other stuff, but I do believe we're going to be okay, you guys. Because again, I cannot repeat this enough. That we know when we were injury plagued and everything, we were still winning games. And I don't wish injury upon anybody. And obviously, I don't wish injury upon any of our Suns players and all that. But the positive here is that this is a good chance for this team, which again is coming fresh off this Kevin Durant trade. There's some new guys like Terrence Ross, Darius Bazley, etc., trying to mesh together and learn how to play together. And I feel like this is a great opportunity for that. The Phoenix Suns have had some heroes, like Ish Wainwright during the Dallas game. And we've had guys step up, like Terrence Ross last night had 24 points off of the bench. And I feel like this is going to be good for them. It's going to be good experience. And what do you need in the playoffs? You need experience. This is going to be a good time for the team to mesh. Now, obviously, it would be a lot better if Kevin Durant was out there and obviously getting the reps in with these guys and practicing with these guys and building chemistry. But as we witnessed throughout the 3 games, Kevin Durant is a plug-in player. Like, you get him in there and he's going to know what to do. Doesn't matter who's on the court with him. We've seen Kevin Durant trust Jock Landale. We've seen Kevin Durant trust Ish Wainwright. So I'm not worried, you guys. Everything will be okay. The only thing we have to keep our fingers crossed and keep praying for is just for the rest of the team to stay healthy and for Kevin Durant to come back 110%. So I'm obviously keeping Kevin Durant in my prayers, fingers crossed and all that. And I just hope that everybody else stays healthy. And I hope we stay consistent on the offensive and defensive end, because we're going to go over the schedule in a little bit, you guys, but the rest of the schedule is not easy. So I don't know. I mean, that's just kind of my takeaway. And also it's like, it's a next man up mentality, because this team does still have a big 3 in Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, and Chris Paul. And I know Chris Paul's regressing and yada, yada, yada. I get it. I don't care. We don't need Chris Paul to score. We just need Chris Paul to be the leader, to get our guys the ball, and to take over if he needs to take over. DeAndre Ayton, though, is that big next man up. DeAndre Ayton needs to be 110% consistent. We need to get him more touches. He needs to be a beast on the offensive boards. He needs to play great defense. I mean, is it too much to ask him to get 20 and 15 every game from here on out until KD gets back? To not have games where he only gets like 4 rebounds or whatever. Everybody's going to need to step up. And I don't want to put 110% of the pressure and blame or whatever on DeAndre Ayton. Everybody's got to step up. Booker's got to continue to be excellent, to win those player of the week honors, to average 38 points or whatever he's averaging with assists and great defense and all that. And then our bench guys, where the heck has our bench been? Maybe on the exception of Terrence Ross last night. Where's that 4th quarter Damian Lee? Where is, who am I forgetting? Like TJ Warren. The list goes on and on. Everybody's going to need to step up, score some points, hit some threes, play great closeout defense when you're guarding the 3. Yeah, Cameron Payne, thank you for bringing that up in the chat. I appreciate it. And then get everybody that's here too. I'll try to get to some chat comments later. If you guys got any questions or anything, I promise we'll touch on that a little later. If you got questions, if you have a concern, let me know. We will talk about it. Like I said, we're obviously going to talk a little bit about this KD stuff. We're going to go over the schedule. And then there's some other, one thing's KD related and the other's not KD related, but it's still NBA. So we're going to be talking here for a while. So get your questions in now. If I miss it, go ahead and put it in the chat again. But I guess overall, you guys, is this obviously could have been a lot worse. I mean, think about it. KD could have been out for the rest of the regular season. Now, keep in mind, though, read the tweet. It says he will be, let me pull it up real quick. It says he will be reevaluated in 3 weeks. Now, that's just like with Devin Booker when he was out. Devin Booker will be reevaluated in whatever weeks it was. I got to take a sip of my drink real quick. So fingers crossed that Kevin Durant's, like as Shams pointed out, the swelling's gone down. From what Chris Paul and Devin Booker were saying last night, that Kevin Durant is in good spirits. So hopefully the ankle swelling's going down. I mean, who knows? Maybe in a week or even 2, Kevin Durant could wake up one day feeling great. And as the players have been saying all season, especially Devin Booker with his injuries, it's a lot of boxes to check. You know what I mean? So hopefully Kevin Durant is checking those boxes after the rehab process once he's reevaluated, and hopefully all the boxes are checked. He's in good spirits. He's ready to go. It just sucks, you guys, because it's like, and I talked about this last night. Just the timing of this injury is just so unfortunate. I legit feel bad for Kevin Durant because obviously all the work that he had to put in to come back from the last injury, and now he's coming back, or he's going to have to come back from this ankle injury. It sucks, man. And we had 3 awesome games of Kevin Durant in which he was averaging 26 points and shooting 69% or something like that. We saw an incredible, exciting vision of what Kevin Durant is going to look like with this team. And then in the snap of a finger, all that is put on delay for another 2-3 weeks. Sucks. It really sucks. And I feel bad for Kevin Durant, man. I feel bad for the Phoenix Suns. Like I said last night, I feel bad for all the fans who were out there who spent lots of money and weren't able to see KD play his first Suns home game. And as I mentioned last night, for whoever cares about this, I felt bad for if Kevin Durant, which I'm sure he did, if Kevin Durant had family and friends in attendance last night. Because again, Chris Paul had 300 people when we played the Hornets not too long ago. He had 300 people in attendance. So it's just unfortunate, terrible timing for this injury to happen. But you guys, there's still 16, 17 games left to be played or whatever. And we are going to go over the schedule. And again, we just got to keep hoping and praying, fingers crossed and all that maybe in 2 weeks he wakes up and the injury is, he's good to go. But again, don't forget that he will be reevaluated. That doesn't mean he's coming back in 2 to 3 weeks. It means he's going to be reevaluated. Now, I'm not a doctor. I have seen all those videos and stuff. I'm not even going to try to describe the injury and blah, 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 and when he's going to come. You guys have seen all that. It's all over Suns Twitter and stuff. But do I think it could have been a lot worse? Absolutely. And, just so many people I've seen on Twitter are like, oh, yeah, I rolled my ankle and I sprained my ankle and I get it. It could have been a lot worse. And we just got to stay positive. We got to stay healthy as a team. We got to stay consistent. And it's not going to be easy because teams now are going to look at us and say, KD's out. Let's pounce on the Suns. Let's play our best games against the Phoenix Suns. Now, again, I'm not worried that we're going to miss the playoffs unless things start to just collapse. God forbid, the NBA gods forbid that. Unless things go from bad to worse, I can't see us missing the playoffs. But let's go over the schedule, shall we? So we obviously played Oklahoma City last night. We play Saturday against the Kings. They are no slouch, you guys. I am telling you, the Sacramento Kings are legit. They're the second seed for a reason. Then we play back-to-back nights on Monday and Tuesday, March 13th through the 14th, against a Golden State Warriors team who just got back Steph Curry. Although I think they just lost Jonathan Kuminga as well, but they're a solid team. We all know that. They're the defending champions until further notice. Then we play the Milwaukee Bucks, who is, they're obviously one of the best teams, if not the best team in the Eastern Conference. Don't sleep on that Orlando Magic game. This is a young upstart team. They're probably going to be good in 3 to 5 years. Then we play the Thunder. The Thunder, that game is all about SGA's health because we saw how bad they were without SGA last night. Then the Lakers game, that's a toss-up. Then we play the Kings again. Then we play the Sixers. Then the Jazz. Then two, Western Conference playoff teams in the Timberwolves and Nuggets. Then we play the Thunder again. Then we play the Spurs. Maybe Kevin Durant's back by that time. Maybe. Then we play the Nuggets. Then we play the Lakers. And our final game is against the Clippers. Los Angeles Clippers, excuse me. So it's not easy, you guys. I mean, look at these teams and look at their records. And some of these teams are going to be fighting for a play-in tournament spot. So it's not going to be easy, you guys. That's all I got to say. And the Suns know that. And I mean, I think we're in a season. I think it's fair to say that the Suns are just focused on the next game right now. Like, yeah, it's championship or bust. It's make the playoffs or bust. It's get to the Western Conference Finals, get to the finals. But right now, especially without KD, they are focused on just the next game. Keep in mind, too, for what this is worth, KD can be a coach on the court. He'll be there every game. Unless he's like rehabbing and decides to stay home, but he'll be there. He can be a coach on the court. He can help these guys out in practice, be a consultant. I mean, if there's somebody that I would want to learn basketball from, it would be Kevin Durant. I always like to think of those kind of things. Like, he will still be on the bench, still be coaching these guys up, talking to Devin Booker. What did Kevin Durant do the first couple times he was here during games? He was chatting it up with Devin Booker. He had a basketball in his hand, like every time out and stuff. So I'm staying positive. I'm staying optimistic. The Suns will be okay. I can't even predict a record, but I do know that we were 3-0 without Kevin Durant, and there's like 17-something games to go. The last two things I want to talk about. And again, if you guys got a question, I'll try to get to it. Put it in the chat right now. Thank you to everybody that's watching too. Shout out to my guy, Coda Kid. Shout out to Iverson, Anthony, everybody that's in here. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to my guy, Sawbucks. KD's work ethic and passion for the game easily translate to the Suns culture. Exactly. And you guys, I mean, we've been hearing all these stories and former players and current players talk about Kevin Durant's work ethic and the way that he practices. Heck, even DeAndre Ayton has talked about it. Like, DeAndre Ayton said something like when KD first got traded, he was like, or like when KD was in Phoenix and arrived, he was like, I walked in and Kevin Durant was already practicing, or like he was ending his warm up and all that. Like, Kevin Durant is like always in the gym. So I know for a fact that Kevin Durant is going to work his tail off. He's probably even twice more motivated now to work his ass off recovering from the injuries than he was before. Does that make sense? I mean, like, we had 3 games of Kevin Durant. He probably can't sleep because he's so excited and wanting to get back on the court and wanting to get this rehab out of the way. He is going to work his tail off every single time he's rehabbing and practicing and all that. Katie's going to be just fine, you guys. Shout out to Sawbucks for the great comment. Again, get your questions in right now. A couple other things I want to talk about. Let me take a sip of my drink real quick. First off, I did see the stuff about the ball boy or whatever his position is. The guy that's on the court, passing the guys the ball while they warm up, mopping the floor and all that. Whatever position that is. I did see that tweet. And I did feel pretty bad for the guy. And guys, I should say, because there was like two of them on the court. We can do better, Suns fans. We can do better as people. And I'm not going to preach to you guys. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because what's done is done. What's said has been said. I even could have reacted better because I reacted. I made that video and I was like, oh, like this needs to be investigated. And I panicked as well. But we can do better as Suns fans, especially on Twitter. I know that Suns Twitter is a very toxic place sometimes. And I even got in my feelings as well. But we can do better. I mean, things happen. Injuries happen. Life happens. Like Jonathan Kuminga, I think, literally just got hurt during warm-up as well today. And Devin Booker, let me show you guys this tweet. Or not tweet, I think it was like an Instagram post. I gotta upload it real quick, but and today was so weird. Like Mo Bamba's out with an injury. All these injuries kept popping up, and we were waiting for the Kevin Durant injury. And then Bleacher Report: Jonathan Kuminga has suffered an ankle injury in warmups ahead of the Warriors Grizzlies game. Devin Booker responds to that: "Let's stop posting injuries, please." Like that's real. That's Devin Booker's account. And it was just such a weird day. Like Mo Bamba goes down with an injury. Who else? Like, who am I forgetting? It has been such a weird month, a weird last few weeks in the NBA. It's been a weird roller coaster of a season, for better or worse. There's been some great things that have happened. There's been some great moments and storylines and great games and performances, but holy cow, this has been a weird, strange season. One of the most, and I mean this, you guys, one of the most roller coaster seasons, up and down seasons that I've ever witnessed. For those of you who don't know, I'm 33. I've studied the history of this league. This is one of the craziest seasons I've ever witnessed. Not to mention all the Robert Sarver stuff and what's going on with John Morant right now and Matt Ishbia taking over the team, the insane, crazy trade deadline. I could go all day, but that's not why we're here. So the last thing, or last two things I actually want to talk about is, and I'm going to choose my words carefully here, false reporting. And I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. If you guys follow Suns Twitter, and if you follow a certain Arizona news website, newspaper, whatever, you guys know what I'm talking about. Late last night, I want to say around midnight my time, 1:00 my time, there was a article that was put out by a certain reporter, and the only thing this reporter got right, and I'm paraphrasing, is there's concern around the organization that Kevin Durant could blah, blah, blah. That's the only part they got correct, is that there's concern around Kevin Durant. Obviously, I mean, we're all concerned, dude. I'm still concerned right now, and we got pretty much good news for the most part. That was clearly clickbait. That was clearly like, I want attention post. That was clearly, hey, this unfortunate, terrible thing just happened to Kevin Durant. Let's post something about it. And again, I don't want to sound like a hypocrite because I made that kind of reaction panic video, but I tried to keep my emotions and tried to say I tried to say the right things, but I didn't go make a viral video or viral live stream saying, "Oh, Kevin Durant's out for the rest of the season." Blah, 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 blah. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Am I crazy? The media has to do better. And I don't care what Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp and all these big networks, I don't care what they're saying. And you know what? I'll give credit. Brian Windhorst was actually very optimistic about Kevin Durant and the Suns situation right now. I watched like a 9-minute video earlier, and he was super optimistic. This is a guy that's been covering LeBron since like LeBron was in high school. This is a guy that is connected, and I think he's done a pretty good job covering the Suns since we got KD. So I will give credit where credit's due there. But the media, these reporters, these beat writers, these insiders, including myself, because even though I'm not technically media, I consider myself Suns media. I need to do a better job sometimes of reporting and saying things and getting my facts right. I've been wrong on things. But if you know what I'm talking about, if you know the person, and I'm not saying he's a terrible guy. I've never met the guy, so I can't say that he's not, but that was a bad move. That was a bad look for this news website, if you know what I'm talking about. Not going to say any names, but I just wanted to get that off of my chest. Let's see. Just making sure. I'm just kind of getting some comments. There's one more thing I want to talk about. So yeah, people are asking, how long is he out for? 1 to 3 weeks. Well, according to the Phoenix Suns themselves, from whoever posted the tweet, I mean, obviously they got the information from the medical staff and the coaches and all that. It is 3 weeks. So I'm going off of that. And again, my guy Flex from Jersey's been right about a lot of different things. Flex from Jersey even knew that Kevin Durant was going to play against Charlotte. So Flex from Jersey said, per my discussions, the 2 to 3 week timeline on KD is accurate. So it's 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks, you guys. Yeah. Yeah. Tamer says, damn, media had me thinking 6 to 8 weeks. Exactly. I'm not saying I'm not trying to sound like I'm perfect, but don't trust what these big time news outlets, media, and all them are saying. Like NBA Central, I'm not going to lie, I follow them, but they've gotten so much stuff wrong, you guys. And sometimes they just post things just to post things. So the last thing I want to talk about before we get to questions and before we get to your guys' comments and stuff, and maybe we can even react to the video. I think we will, because it's just a press conference. Now, again, this isn't really Suns related. This is NBA related. I didn't see the game. I didn't see the officiating. Actually, real quick, before we talk about this next topic, I want to give a shout out to In Street Clothes, Jeff Stotts, who I actually tweeted him earlier, and he clicked like on my tweet. But he tweeted this stuff out earlier, and I'm just making sure I'm gathering it all. I'll just go to his Twitter real quick. Sorry, guys. This is a little improvised segment. I should have had this ready to go earlier. But first off, In Street Clothes, a.k.a. Jeff Stotts, has been, he's covered certain injuries before. He's gotten a lot of stuff right. He knows this stuff. And I'll zoom in on this because you guys clearly can't see, because I can't even see. You guys see that okay? Hopefully, maybe. I don't know. Possibly. This was all tweeted out earlier. That looks terrible. There we go. That's better. All right. So he says, the first tweet was right here. Kevin Durant, a grade 2 sprain is also known as a partial or incomplete tear. Other players sustain a G2 ankle sprains include Mike Conley, LaMelo Ball, Ja Morant, Trae Young. Historically, the average time lost is 7 to 19 days. Then his second tweet. However, time lost for G2 ankle sprains sustained this season has been longer. The average time lost this year comes in at 15 games, 7 weeks. This doesn't include Portland's Justice Winslow, who has not played since December 2nd. He says, for the record, I'm aware that the team, now again, this was 10 hours ago, but he said, I am aware that the team has not confirmed Durant's injury as a grade 2 ankle sprain. The reason for my update was to provide context to the reports that a grade 2 sprain is feared to have occurred. And I don't think he's tweeted anything out since. Sort of an improvised segment right there, because that's somebody who I trust, who has covered certain injuries before and players. He's gotten a lot of things right. And there was also like a really good video that was uploaded by like a doctor I saw. It's all over. You guys can find that, but I just wanted to read that to you guys. So let's get to a non-Kevin Durant topic, and then we will and then we'll get to some questions, and then we'll call it a night. So, and again, I do actually want to react to this in live time. And I feel like this is pretty important. I don't know why. I just wanted to talk about it because I'm kind of passionate on this stuff. I truly believe that you should like speak up for yourself and defend yourself. So let me just find the video. My apologies, you guys. Where was it? Here we go. So this comes from Kevin Mitchie. I hope I said that right. And this is about a minute long. And this was Fred VanVleet of the Toronto Raptors last night. By the way, you guys, do me a favor. Follow me on Twitter. It's right here. Twitter.com/SunsGeek. And we're going to go ahead and react to this clip of Fred VanVleet. And you'll understand why we're watching this in a minute when I give my thoughts. So let's go ahead and react to what Fred VanVleet had to say. Let me get this fixed. Oop, there we go. All right, ready? Here we go.
Definitely in the third quarter there. I mean, I don't mind. I'll take a fine. I don't really care. I thought definitely in the third quarter there. I mean, I don't mind. I'll take a fine. I don't really care. I thought, Ben Taylor was fucking terrible tonight. I thought that on most nights, a couple of the, out of the three, there's one or two that just fucked the game up. And it's been like that a couple games in a row. Denver was tough, obviously. You come out tonight, you're competing pretty hard. The third quarter, I get a bullshit tech, changes the whole dynamic of the game, changes the whole flow of the game. And, most of the refs are trying hard. I like a lot of the refs are trying hard. They're pretty fair. They communicate well. And then you got the other ones who just want to be dicks and just kind of fucks the game up. Nobody's coming to see that shit. They come to see the players. And I think we're losing a little bit of the fabric of what the NBA is and was. And it's been disappointing this season. You could look up most of my texts this year have been with Ben Taylor officiating. So at a certain point as a player, you feel it's personal. And it's never a good place to be. That's not why we lost tonight. We got outplayed. But it definitely makes it tougher to overcome.
So you guys are probably like, Suns Geek, why are you talking about Fred VanVleet in his comments? This isn't an NBA show. This isn't why I'm here. I wanted to talk about this because I've always been a person who believes in you should speak up for yourself if you feel like you're being wronged or if you have like a bad boss or a bad teacher or whatever it is. I feel like you should speak up for yourself. And we've seen Chris Paul be a victim to this, like when Scott Foster referees his games. And look, Fred VanVleet did get fined. He got fined $30,000, like right before I went live. And I'm not saying that players should get on the microphone and talk all this trash and talk badly against these referees who are human beings who make mistakes. But the officiating has been pretty terrible this year. I thought it actually started out very well. It seemed like the refs are actually letting them play. But we've seen so many games this year where the officiating came into question. We've seen those last 2-minute reports and all that, the controversy behind that. And I guess what I'm trying to say is I hope more players are now encouraged to speak up now, especially about referees. And I hope they call them out by name. You know what I mean? I know that the NBA doesn't like that, and I'm sure the Toronto Raptors and the PR people and the social media people probably are going to have a conversation with Fred because it's a PR nightmare, and you can't be saying that kind of stuff because it makes us look bad. Who cares, man? Speak your truth. Speak up. I wish Chris Paul and Booker and all them would do it more. And don't get me wrong, they have. They've criticized the refs. And I had a response to a tweet just today. Someone said, I wish Monty Williams would step up for his team and say things like this. It sometimes gets overlooked, but Monty Williams has. He's sort of defended his players. He hasn't gotten as vocal as Fred VanVleet was, but he kind of low-key has. Now, that's obviously another conversation for another time, but I just hope players are more encouraged now that Fred VanVleet went nuts and said what he said. I applaud the guy for it. And let's be real, the NBA, refereeing in the NBA is an extremely difficult job. I can't do any better. But can they be more fair? I mean, Fred VanVleet talked about how like it's kind of changing the game and not for the best. Do these refs need to be held accountable? Absolutely. Maybe the NBA needs to step in. I don't know. I mean, you literally cannot breathe on a player without it being a foul in today's game. So, yeah, Coda Kid says Monty has spoken up before. Exactly. I feel like it gets overlooked. I think sometimes Monty Williams defending his players and speaking up gets overlooked, but he has done it. He doesn't do it much, but he's done it. So that's it, you guys. I mean, if you guys want to ask me a question, go ahead, do it now. Maybe we can get a couple of you guys on here for a couple of minutes. By the way, you guys are seeing the little graphic on the screen right there. Scan that little QR code. Follow me on Instagram. Scan the QR code here. Follow me on TikTok. Yes, I did just say TikTok. That's what I call it. Let's get to some comments here because I've said everything I've pretty much wanted to say. Sawbuck says, what's done is done. We miss Mikal Bridges, but the Suns had to do what they had to do. They went all in. I can't read. They went all in it all. I feel Mikal Bridges will be back in 2026. That's another thing too, you guys. Derek, just to answer your question real quick. What is Kevin Durant's injury update? How long will he be out? Ankle sprain, 2 to 3 weeks, reevaluation. That's the official update. Anyways, I'm paraphrasing this tweet here, but I saw this one tweet that was like, oh, like I knew Kevin Durant was going to get injured. And again, I'm paraphrasing. I knew Kevin Durant was going to get injured and we should have kept Mikal Bridges. That's kind of how I read it. That's not exactly what this person said, but that's pretty much what it said. I know that that's easy to say now, but were these people that were like, we shouldn't have traded Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson? Those people weren't around, or at least tweeting this stuff the last 3 games with KD. Because damn it, 3 games ago, these last 3 games, this looked like one of the great, and it still is one of the greatest, craziest trades in league history, especially Suns history. This is arguably the biggest trade in Suns history. But to address Sawbuck's comment here, and look, I love Mikal Bridges. I love Cam Johnson. I mean, I've literally watched every single game they've been in since they've been in a Suns uniform. I've made countless videos on both of those guys. I love them, and they're great people. Let me repeat that. Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges are great people. I've met Cam Johnson once before. He's great with the fans. Mikal is hilarious. He's a great dude. But guys, it's time to move on. It's time to move on, you guys. I get it. You love the Twins. I get it. But they play for the Brooklyn Nets now. We have Kevin Durant now. I'm just saying, it's for before KD actually played, holy cow, the Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson stuff was like they were still on the team. I had to rant about that because it's true. Like, we need to move on, y'all. Like, I love Mikal. I love Cam and all them, but man, we got to move on. So as I was talking about all this stuff, Flex from Jersey was just kind of tweeting some stuff out, but he said, If this was any other player, I'd be concerned about continuity going into the playoffs. This is KD. You're talking about one of the smartest, talented, adaptable players ever. Keyword there, adaptable. In my opinion, if he could get another 5 games before the playoffs, they'll be fine. First 3 games showed me enough. Exactly. Whether you love or hate or whatever it is, Flex is right. Let me read you the last part. You're talking about one of the smartest, talented, adaptable players ever. Adaptable players ever. In my opinion, if he could get another 5 games before the playoffs, they'll be fine. First 3 games showed me enough. If you've been watching the Suns, you guys, we should all be thrilled about Kevin Durant's first 3 games and how simple and how easy everything came together. And just the dominance, and I mean dominance, you guys. I'm going to pull up Flex's Twitter, and then we'll probably call it a wrap on this show. But I mean, what the last game KD and Booker played, they had like 70 points or something like that. Sorry, my phone's blowing up. I got to put it on silent. Well, this is a great tweet from Flex, you guys, and I'm gonna show you guys it. We're gonna read it. So as I just mentioned, this is the tweet from Flex. Key word in all this is just adaptable. And it's true, you guys. Like, Kevin Durant is literally plug and play. And they're going to get him back eventually. He's going to work his tail off. The Suns just have to stay afloat. They just have to stay consistent and win games. So, and then, Flex also tweeted, let's go back to his Twitter. You guys are seeing what I'm saying, by the way. This was like literally 2 minutes ago. My guy Flex from Jersey. I'm also a blessing in disguise type of guy. This is going to be extremely difficult to figure out this Suns team with minimal tape on them come playoffs. It goes both ways. People are worried about the Suns figuring it out, but other teams are going to have a nightmare doing the same. I remember when the Suns schedule came out, because we ran it back, you know what I mean? I was like kind of negative about that. And I was like, oh my God, you guys, like, we're going to have a rough season and blah, blah, blah. And someone in the comments, I wish I would have screenshotted it. I was like kind of panicking and overreacting about the Suns schedule when they first came out, when the team ran it back. I'll never forget. Someone responded saying, Suns Geek, these teams have to play us too. And that goes back to the original point of this live show, is that we still have Chris Paul. We still have Devin freaking Booker, who's been balling lately. We still have DeAndre Ayton. We still have Torrey Craig, Josh Okogie, who's been playing out of his mind, Cam Payne, Terrence Ross, Ish Wainwright, Jock Lindell. This team has a lot of big TJ Warren. It still is crazy to me that TJ Warren plays for this team after all this time. I remember during the KD trade, I was like, this is great about Kevin Durant, but TJ Warren's back with the Suns, man. I felt like a real homecoming. Backcourt Highlights says, I love Flex, always so optimistic. He's right, you guys. By the way, when Kevin Durant was announced that he was playing his first game with the Suns against the Hornets, Flex jumped on my show and we had him on for like 30, 35 minutes. That's a great listen. Even now, like, go back and find that. It's on my channel. That's a great listen right there. All right, guys. What we're going to do, just real quick, I can't get everybody on. I'm going to put the invite link in the chat. If you guys want to join, if you want to ask a question, if you have concerns, comments, whatever, y'all can hop on for like 2 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. We'll see. We'll just see what happens. And if nobody joins, that's cool too. We'll pretty much call it a day. But this is a great show. I just wanted to come on here and give my thoughts. I know that I was last to the party. I know that some other Suns content creators and all that and podcasters already went live, but I do have a second job. I had things to do, but I'm glad I was able to give my thoughts and really give my thoughts on a lot of different Suns related things. So, but yeah, this was a good show, you guys. I will be live Saturday after the Suns Kings game. And then, we got the back to backs on Monday and Tuesday against the Warriors Bucks. And it's not going to be easy, but I'm telling you guys, the Suns are thinking game by game. They're not thinking, oh, we're just going to cruise to the playoffs. You know what I mean? So we got a guest in here. We'll get him on for a couple minutes. We'll get his thoughts. If you guys want to join right now. We'll get as many of you as you guys on as possible. So we're gonna go ahead and bring on God's Son. I like that name. How you doing, man?
Oh, hey, how are you doing, brother, man?
Fantastic, man. How about yourself?
Oh, super good.
Good, man. Talk to me, bro. What are you thinking here?
So I'm thinking we're gonna be able to stay afloat. I just feel like if we get Campaign from the bubble, if he comes around, and along with the bubble with TJ Warren, it's looking good with Devin Booker going off for 44. If we can get Chris Paul with his 8 assists, maybe get him 12. And then we just need to get a little bit better on defense, a little bit. Just get Ayton to step it up a little bit with some. I think we can get him a couple more, even a couple more blocks. He's doing good, but a couple more blocks, and I think we'll be right there. I mean, the Mavericks, I think they're like a cousin to us, but we're definitely the better cousin, you know? So
exactly, man. Well done, man. Well done. And that's something I neglected to talk about, man. You never know when a player like a Campaign, for example, could go off, and we're going to need him to step up offensively, playmaking, defensively. DeAndre Ayton does need to get a little better on defense, maybe get those blocks up a little bit here and there. But again, like, what if TJ Warren, like you mentioned, just explodes like he did in the bubble, man?
Yeah.
So I appreciate you being on, man. Any final thoughts before you get out of here, man?
That's perfect, man. And you have a great show, man.
Thanks, man.
It's gonna be awesome. I just think with all the stars going down, it's just gonna build up the bench better.
Yes, sir.
And it's just a theme right now in the league. So I feel like it's all gonna happen for a reason. But get a little more battle tested, less reliant on the stars because we got a lot of them. So
yes, sir.
Heck yeah, thank you.
I appreciate you joining, man.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks, brother. Have a good one.
You too.
All right, we're going to bring on longtime friend of the channel. This guy's been supporting me for way in the early days. Coda Kid, how you doing, man?
Hello.
What's up, Coda?
Oh, what's happening?
Not much,
Not
man.
much.
Talk to me, bro. How you feeling, man? You're one of the Suns Geek OGs here, so talk to me, man.
Shoot, where do I start? Just I'm hella tired.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good. Just any of your thoughts, man.
I feel like we're gonna be all right. The only thing I probably have a concern about is probably the bench. You know, the bench has kind of been having its ups and downs.
Yeah.
During this stretch with Kevin Durant, but look, it's gonna be tough again. I mean, this is the fourth time that team has to adjust according to the whole roster situation.
Right. No, that's fair, man. That's a fair concern. I mean, I've always believed you can't win a championship without a bench. I mean, look at the 7 seconds or less Suns. They had like a maybe top 7, if that. They never won a championship. So,
yeah.
I agree, man. Any final thoughts, man?
My final thoughts. I don't want to get you in trouble, so I'll keep them to myself. Yeah, I just really had an issue with folks coming at the little ball boys and stuff. Damn, like yeah, like I know I love this team, and it'd be cool if I could say I love our fan base too. And it's just honestly, it's just up and down with this fan base. There's a lot of people I don't follow, including like people who cover this team. It's so toxic and honestly, I just don't fuck with a lot of Suns fans like that. So I just want to say, do better. Just do better.
Yep, do better. And I appreciate you following me, man, because I'll humble myself here. I know there's people that don't like me out there. I say things that people don't like. So I appreciate you being on here, man. Thanks for jumping on, brother.
Yeah, I'll jump on next time too.
Yes, sir. No, you're good, man. Appreciate you, brother.
I'm just glad StreamYard finally works.
I know, right? Exactly.
All right.
Yep. Appreciate you, man. Later, bro. No, he's right. We need to do better as a team. We need to do better as a fan base. We need to do better as people, and including myself, the media, even if you don't consider me as media, us media, content creators, podcasters, heck, even some of the bigger Twitter people who have bigger followings than I do, we need to do better. And I'm guilty of certain things I've tweeted out and the way I've reacted to certain things. I'm guilty of that. Sometimes I hit the panic button. Sometimes I tweet out things that I probably shouldn't have tweeted out. But I don't know. We're going to bring on one more guest, you guys, and we're going to get out of here. Son's biggest fan, a reoccurring guest on this channel. What's up, man?
What's up?
Not much, man. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good, man. Talk to me. What are you thinking?
I think we'll be just fine without KD for a couple weeks.
Yeah. I think we will too, man.
Yeah. And Devin Booker definitely show us why he's a 3-time All-Star for a reason.
Yes, sir.
And
been cooking lately, man.
The only concern I do have with this team is definitely what Kid said.
Yeah.
With the bench and all.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up again. It's true. Like, that's my biggest concern. That was one of the first things I thought of when I saw the KD news was our bench has got to step up. I was saying that same stuff about when Booker was out, but it's true, man. Like, they need to step up. So, Son's biggest fan, I appreciate you being here. Any final thoughts, man?
I just want to thank you for having me on your show. And
of course, man.
I hope you oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, you're a reoccurring guest, so I appreciate you being here, man.
Yeah, I hope you have a good night.
You as well, man. Have a great night, brother. All right. Guys, I think that's going to be it. I think we're going to call it there. I appreciate the guests that are on. Mikey, I do see you back here, man, but we've had so many connection issues. I'm sorry, man. I'm not going to be able to get you on. No disrespect to you, but once that internet connection's better of yours, then we can probably get you on. But appreciate everybody that's here. I thought that this was a good show, all things considering. I really just wanted to give my thoughts and talk about some other NBA related things as well. We're going to be just fine, Suns fans. Stay positive. Keep supporting the Suns, win or lose. Kevin Durant's going to be just fine. And time's going to fly by, you guys. Time's already flying. And the Suns are contenders for a reason. And I still believe that even without KD, we still are contenders. And we just got to stay positive. We got to stay optimistic, and we got to stay consistent on and off the court. So do better, Suns fans. Stay safe out there. God bless you guys. Thank you to everybody who joined. This is a great show. I hope y'all didn't, I hope you all enjoyed the show. That's all that matters. At the end of the day, as long as you guys are enjoying this content, loving this content, that's all that matters. And again, you guys, I know there's a lot of great Suns podcasters out there and great Suns content. But again, the best way to support me, y'all, is just to keep watching. Crush that like button, y'all. Hulk smash that like button. Share the show. Subscribe to Suns Geek. Follow me on Twitter, as you guys can see right here. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram. Scan the Instagram. I don't even know where it is. The QR code right there. Follow me. Here's the TikTok one. Y'all just scan that and follow me. Stay tuned for more content, y'all. God bless you guys. Stay safe out there. And as always, go Suns.